Picture the showroom you've always imagined. Rows of chrome and fresh paint catching the light, the smell of new rubber and leather, a customer running her fingers along a handlebar for the first time, weekends spent at rallies instead of stuck behind a desk, your name on the sign out front, your own hours, your own crew, your own brand, built one sale at a time. That's the dream. Here's the balance sheet. Owning a motorcycle dealership isn't a lifestyle business. It's a financing operation that happens to sell motorcycles, and almost nobody tells you that before you sign. Why does that distinction matter so much? Because the money you'll spend before you sell a single bike has almost nothing to do with motorcycles and almost everything to do with debt. To open the doors of an independent dealership, you're typically looking at anywhere from $350,000 to $2 million, depending on brand, location, and size. A manufacturer franchise agreement alone can cost $15,000 to over $100,000 just for the right to use the name. Then comes the real number, floor plan financing for your opening inventory, which can run $200,000 to $1.5 million. Add a lease deposit, a showroom build-out, and service bay equipment, and you're financing a small hotel before you've sold a single helmet. What is floor plan financing exactly? It's a loan that lets you stock motorcycles you don't yet own the money for, paying interest on every bike sitting on your floor until a customer drives it away. That loan is the engine of this business, and it never stops running. So the doors are open, the bikes are financed, the first customers walk in. Now what? Now you find out that selling the motorcycle was never where the money was. New motorcycle sales typically carry a gross margin of just 5 to 10%. And once you account for staff, marketing, and interest on that floor plan, net profit across the whole store usually lands between 2 and 5%. Do the math on a $15,000 cruiser and you're clearing a few $100s, maybe less. According to a 2026 industry benchmark study from DealerSpike, built on data across nearly 7,000 dealerships nationwide, the dealers pulling ahead aren't the ones selling the most new bikes. They're the ones treating the store as 4 separate businesses stacked under one roof. New units, used units, parts and accessories, and service. Jacob Berry, co-founder of the dealer platform Motohunt and host of the Dealership Fixit podcast, has advised powersports stores across the country on exactly this shift, and his core message to owners is simple. Stop running the store like a showroom and start running it like a service business that happens to have a showroom attached. Because parts and service routinely generate close to half of total store profit, while new bike sales generate a fraction of that. Here's the trap almost nobody sees coming until they're inside it. Manufacturers don't just sell you inventory, they set the terms of how much inventory you carry whether you want that many bikes or not. And if you fall behind on their sales targets, you can lose the franchise entirely, regardless of how healthy your own numbers look. When interest rates climb, the cost of financing that mandated inventory climbs with it. Some brands add another twist on top, multi-million-dollar showroom renovation requirements, tied directly to keeping your franchise agreement. Did that combination ever actually break a real dealership? It did, and recently. A century-old, family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership in San Francisco closed suddenly in 2024, just 6 years after ownership changed hands and new management couldn't keep pace with rising corporate standards and shrinking margins. It wasn't alone. In the first weeks of 2025 alone, 11 Harley-Davidson dealerships closed permanently across states from Illinois to Colorado to Texas, most of them family-owned businesses that had operated for decades. That same year, Harley-Davidson's own third quarter 2025 earnings report showed the parent company posting a healthy corporate profit even as its global motorcycle unit sales fell 6%, a reminder that a strong year at headquarters and a survivable year on the showroom floor are two very different things. John Reneska, senior sales manager at the industry data firm Statistical Surveys, tracks monthly registration numbers across the powersports industry, and the swings his data has captured through 2025 and into 2026 show new unit sales moving by double digits year over year, a volatility that turns a manufacturer-mandated inventory load into a genuine gamble rather than a routine cost of doing business. So if the margins are this thin and the mandates this heavy, how does anyone actually win? By scale, not by charm. The dealers surviving this environment are consolidating, buying up neighboring stores and spreading fixed costs like facility upgrades, staffing, and floor plan interest across far more units sold. One of the country's largest powersports retailers recently expanded to 20 rooftops and 9 Harley-Davidson locations in a single acquisition push, chasing a top 5 national ranking specifically because a bigger footprint absorbs the same fixed costs that crush a single small store. For an independent owner, the realistic exit isn't building a legacy shop to hand down for generations. It's building something clean enough, with strong service and parts numbers, that a larger group wants to absorb it. So picture that showroom again. The chrome, the fresh paint, the rally weekends, your name on the sign out front. Now picture the floor plan statement sitting in the back office, quietly accruing interest on every bike you haven't sold yet. That's the real business you'd be signing up for. The dream was never the motorcycles. It was always the debt.